Alright, what's going on, YouTube? It's my first shot at a full-blown video here. I'm going to try and make it short and sweet, pretty direct. It's a good spring day here. I'm out here with some cheap-ass bourbon, Evan Williams. Stuff's about $14 a bottle. It's really good. Half the cost of Jack Daniels, just saying. It's a gorgeous day out. I've had a project on my mind for a while. I've got some old stereo parts. I had a nice Alpine head unit. I had a small 6.5-inch bazooka tube, some wiring, some other assorted stuff. So I decided that my patio area out in the back needed some sound. I had this idea of being able to just walk over to my shed, hit a button, have a little panel flip up. There's my stereo, and turn it on and have stereo. So that's actually pretty much what I did. I'm not going to go through all the, ins and outs of what I did to it and stuff. It's pretty basic. I got a lot of stuff off of Amazon. I love those guys. If you can get the Prime, it's worth it. The shipping and little discounts and stuff like that, it's totally worth it. So this is all just garbage parts, reconditioned Amazon speakers, and a little bit of ingenuity. And let me show you what I got real quick. I've got some Kicker 6.5-inch reconditioned speakers that I paid $62 for the pair. They got nice brackets, the push-in connections for the speakers in the back. They're waterproof. I don't know, for the money I've spent, if they last the season, I take them down, I put them up next year, maybe get one more season out of them. They paid for themselves. This is a combination of the Alpine stereo that I had, satellite ready. It's the slide touch, plays WMP3s, MP3s, WMAs. I've got the auxiliary jack, which you can actually change the jacks on the back of this. You can have RCA outs, you can have an iPod jack, you can have just the regular headphone jack. I do have an outside projector. I figured this was the best way to go, so I can run an extension, plug it into the projector, and have the same kind of sound for movies and stuff. Here's the mount. It's got a little button on the bottom. You press it. I have the cord hanging out, so it's not going to do it right now, but you let it go, it flips open. It's got a nice gasket behind it. I sealed it up. It's got good tamper-resistant screws. You can't just walk up with a Phillips head and steal my shit. I have cameras and everything anyway, so it's no big deal. But yeah, so that's that part of it. Those blend in pretty well. The patio area is the main sitting area. Excuse my mess. I'm in the process of doing all kinds of projects and stuff. So yeah, that's that end of it. Over here, these I took a chance on just because they're small. They're only 3.5-inch drivers, but they're three-way speakers. They have a small little tweeter, small little mid-range, and then a small little driver with the crossover built into them. That is an actual bass port. It is not for show. I'm really surprised at how well these sounded. You will see in the video in a minute as to how that went. That is a 6.5-inch 100-watt amplified bazooka tube. It is an actual bazooka. It is not a no-name. There you go. I got a Amazon wire and harness. It was about 12 bucks. I'm a little disappointed because it's an aluminum wire, which I'm not crazy about. Aluminum, I've got copper wire connecting it, so eventually those connections are going to corrode and I will have to redo them. But that's, 2-3 years down the line. By then I will have demolished this shed and put up a better one and reinstalled the system the right way. As far as power goes, this is probably the most expensive. I do have power in my shed. That's where everything is actually plugged into. This is probably the most expensive piece that I spent money on. This is a Pyramid power supply. Once again, an Amazon item. It puts out 13.8 volts at 10 amps constant. It will peak to 12 amps. As you can see, it's got a protection circuit. I won't flip it around and all that. It's got a fuse in the back. You know what I mean? It's fan cooled. It's a really nice little unit. I've been running it all day and literally blasting the hell out of this stereo, and it hasn't gone into protection once. So I'm really happy with it. It was 55 bucks, money well spent. You could run probably a good solid 4-channel amp. I'd say probably close to 300 watts. Check your amp ratings on your equipment. It's real easy to look them up online. My stereo runs generally about 3 amps. It'll peak at 5 amps. If I'm really cranking it, it's 50 watts by 4. The bazooka tube peaks at about 7.5 amps, runs all day long at about 5 amps. So for the 10 amps and the 12 peak that I have, it's perfect for what I have. You know what I mean? It should run all day comfortably. No big deal. This is a cheesy little $6 Amazon antenna. It does the job, pulls in all the stations that I want, slipped right into the back of the radio easily. Don't mind my wiring mess. I haven't actually finalized, you know, I haven't actually put brackets in and mounted the radio to the shed and that type of thing. I do have to do some finish work. This literally just went in probably about 3 hours ago. So, yeah, I keep floating around with the camera angles and stuff. My apologies. Like I said, this is short and sweet. I'm trying to get to the point. Enough about all that. Let's see how it sounds. See if you guys like it. I just got a generic CD that I've had in my truck that I pulled out of my CD changer here. I've had it in there for years. I'll go compact disc. I have no idea what's going to come up here. Turn some volume up. Play. Come on. Oh yeah, sure, now it's going to make me look like a jerk. I'll go tune on it. It's a really good rock station. Here we go. Not very loud volume. I'll turn it down. Probably about 12. You can hear the subwoofer as I come around the corner. It's pretty cool in here. Actually, acts as a big bass box in here. So you can hear the deep tones. It's really effective when I actually crank it up and go ridiculous with the volume. These little things sounded great. These were $23 off of Amazon for outdoor waterproof speakers. How can you go wrong? I will say though, if you look at the reviews on them, these are a problem. If you try to put too much weight and try and angle it like the long way, these will strip out real easily if you tighten them too much. So just be aware of that. But for $23, crazy go one, put it back together. I'm gonna try and pull up the compact disc because it's a little bit cleaner sound on this radio. But it's still like, you know, this is a radio I've had for eons. I forget how to use it, so bear with me for a minute here.
See her eyes, look into my eyes, and I realize that she could see inside my head. So I close my eyes, thinking that I could hide, just a social
Don't mind the bubbling. Need a little waterfall out here. So you can see, that's actually Ames Knoll State Park. So my yard is great. I got all kinds of critters. Deer up to the fence, coyotes, turkeys, rabbits, hawks. The hummingbird feeder over there that's actually really, really active. But yeah, that's the shed system. So, you know, little ingenuity, some spare wire and a little electrical tape and a power supply. And this also goes to show those eBay speakers, those little pile speakers, those little tiny ones right there, and then those refurbished. I mean, you can't beat that. They're all outdoor speakers, and if you blow them up in 2 years, so what? They were cheap money. All right? So that's it. If you got any questions, post them in the comments. I'll try and get back to you. And that's about it, guys. Have a good summer. Have a good spring. You know, get out. Enjoy yourselves.